It's the Binge Bum Podcast. Whoa, it's time to talk about our favorite shows from all the streaming networks all across the globe, from Netflix to Hulu to Disney Plus and HBO. Get ready for fun and lots of show reviews. It's Binge Bum coming to you.
God, I love that jingle every time I hear it.
I finally,
I swear it's the best money I've ever spent ever in my entire life.
After 22 episodes, I finally learned the words.
Right. Hey, it's Friday, June 18th. It's episode 22. Man, let me preface this whole episode that, and you know, we talk about Apple TV Plus often on this show.
Okay.
This whole show is going to be Apple TV Plus news.
They're stepping up their game, Dale.
There's just a lot going on this week in news. Up first, Apple TV Plus released a premiere date and teaser for the second season of Truth Be Told.
So excited about this.
If you don't remember this is Octavia Spencer, who is a true crime podcaster and kind of on the side is like an investigative reporter.
Yeah.
That's kind of more of her job, and she takes that into her podcast. Anyway, it's back. We love the first season, and Octavia Spencer is back. She's going to star opposite Kate Hudson this next season. I'm excited about this. In season 2, the true crime podcaster and investigative reporter Poppy dives into a new case that involves her childhood friend Micah, who will be played by Hudson.
I love both of these women. They do amazing work.
Yes.
And I love season 1 so much that I almost kind of feel like I want to watch it again. Since this is not coming out until August 20th.
Right.
We have plenty of time. We could watch it again.
But what I like about this and what I like about series like this is that you don't have to have any knowledge whatsoever.
Right.
From what I can see from the trailer, you don't have to have watched season 1 at all.
Yeah. But what we do know about Octavia Spencer's character, Poppy, is that she gets really, really embroiled in these cases.
Yeah.
To the expense of her relationships in real life.
Well, and that's her flaw, and I think you have to have a flaw to make a good story, right?
All characters need to have a flaw or you have no story.
I mean, and this is where we have to go back and watch. But I remember that her first case in season 1 was that the demise of her marriage?
I think it was. Yeah. And
I'm trying to remember back. I think it was.
And she had been instrumental in getting this kid put into prison, and then she felt bad about it and was questioning whether she did the right thing.
Right.
Yeah. So you guys,
what she may have been wrong.
Yeah.
In the whole thing, and we don't want to spoil it because you really. It's a series that you need to watch.
Watch season 1. Season 2 comes out on August 20th. We'll put the teaser trailer up on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I just want to say Kate Hudson is playing this lifestyle guru, kind of a la Martha Stewart, a younger version of Martha Stewart, which is kind of fun. So I also didn't know this. Maybe we talked about this when, I don't know if we talked about this before, but Reese Witherspoon's production company is behind this show. Yeah.
No, I don't know if we have mentioned that.
So Reese's whole world.
She's a busy woman.
Is streaming video, and of course she's going to be. Well, we're going to talk about her soon.
Yeah. Well, that's coming up next. Well, that's a great segue. We're next up, and we're going to talk about the morning show season 2. We've been waiting for this for a long time,
a year and a half.
I think we've all waited way longer than we should have, but it was probably all due to the pandemic, of course, obviously. But Apple TV Plus has released a premiere date and a dramatic first look teaser at the highly anticipated return of the morning show. The returning cast includes Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Steve Carell,
which we did not think was going to be in season 2.
Exactly. Billy Crudup, who I love. I think he's great in this series. Mark Duplass, and among many more.
And we didn't think that Mark was going to be back either. He plays the executive producer of the show.
Right. And then if you remember from season 1, there were some decisions that had been made, and we kind of thought that they were losing their jobs. But anyway, and that could still happen. but they're still here at least for a couple of episodes.
Right.
However, joining season 2, I'm kind of excited about this,
Yes.
is Juliana Margulies.
Love her.
Who will play Laura Peterson, a UBA news anchor.
Yeah, so she comes more from the news division. I mean, of course, the morning show is kind of like the Today Show or
Right.
CBS This Morning. And then Juliana is from the nighttime kind of. I don't know if she's the main anchor, but she's one of the anchors at the network. So it looks like, and I don't think this is giving anything away because it's in the trailer, the teaser trailer, and we're going to be putting that up on our social media, but it looks like Alex Levy, played by Aniston, is leaving the show and left in a very dramatic way.
Yeah, well, as if with anything that she's done in
Yes.
the previous season. I mean, her announcement at the upfronts, right, when she announced Reese Witherspoon's character as her
co-host, right?
Co-host.
She took control.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I love this show.
Spoiler
It's
alert
going to
in
be-
reverse because we just spoiled season 1.
Yeah.
We didn't spoil
We didn't spoil it.
anything. It's been out for a year and a half.
Right.
Yeah.
You had a long time to watch it. And we've been talking about it a lot.
We don't believe in spoiler alerts for something that's been out for a year and a half. It's just not fair.
I think after this episode, I think we need to go back and set some rules for this show.
Yes.
As to when it's appropriate. We need to put a time frame on shows when they premiere,
Sure.
and then what we can talk about.
3 months, 4 months? I don't know. We'll have to decide that off camera. We're not on camera. You know what I mean. Off mic. The teaser trailer is available on Facebook. We will have it up there for you guys to watch. I have watched this trailer multiple times, and I swear, Dale, every time I watch it, I get chills because I really think this is one of the best shows on streaming that we've seen since streaming became a thing.
And this teaser makes this next season seem darker and more dramatic, more drama, and I just know I'm going to love it. I'm just going to love it.
What I love so much about this is Jennifer Aniston's face. I swear to God, that woman can convey so many emotions at the same time with just a tiny little movement of her cheek or her eyes. There's so much there. And if you guys don't believe it, watch this teaser trailer when she's being interviewed by Juliana Margulies' character.
Right.
Just look at her face. It's everything. This whole show is about Jennifer Aniston's face.
Right. And the whole time you made that segment, you were talking about Reese Witherspoon.
Probably, yeah. I cannot wait. It's September 17th. It's a Friday. As Apple TV does, I think they're going to drop 1. Maybe they'll drop 2.
No, it's going to be 1.
1 a week.
Yeah.
1 a week. So you got to wait. It gives you something to look forward to. What better night than Friday, right?
I mean, we do call this podcast Binge Bum, and we started this podcast. You know, Apple was new. I mean, there were a lot of streaming networks that didn't even exist when we started this podcast. And the format was Netflix's format.
Right.
Put it all out there at once.
Drop it all at
You
once.
binge it.
Yeah.
That's not the case anymore.
But if you come late to the game, you can certainly binge morning show all in one weekend. Yes.
Me personally, I like this weekly. It gives you something to look forward to.
Yeah.
It
Plus,
keeps the streamers happy because you keep you subscribed because you want to finish watching it.
Plus, you and I don't always have 8 hours to just sit on the couch and watch TV. So we've got a lot going on.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've got full lives, people.
Right.
Besides,
I like
believe it or not.
Right. I like the format.
Got it.
And last, with our Apple TV News Plus news, they have renewed C for a 3rd season ahead of its 2nd season premiere, which is on Friday, August 27th. The 2nd season focuses on Baba Voss, played by Jason Momoa, fighting to reunite his torn-apart family and to get away from war and politics, but becomes deeper involved with the emergence. And I love this.
Yes.
I love this. With the emergence of his nemesis brother, Edo Voss, who I'm becoming to love more and more when I see him. I think he's a great actor, Dave Bautista.
He is so talented, and he looks very, very evil in this.
Yes, he's very, very scary, and I love this whole thing.
I'll say one thing about this show. It's got to be incredibly hard for actors to play blind when they're not blind.
Of course.
You've got to learn to keep your eyes in one frame, one place, without moving them back and forth as we tend to do.
Because if you are a seeing person, you're going to look at who's speaking.
You're constantly moving your eyes.
So it's a conscious decision to not look at where the sound is
coming from. Only do you have to remember your lines and remember what you're supposed to do in that scene, but you also have to remember to keep your eyes focused dead ahead. no matter where your head moves. So kudos to these people who have learned to do that. It cannot be easy.
It's a huge, huge, huge series for Apple. I mean, the fact even we're talking about season 3 here. I remember season 2 also being renewed prior to the debut of its second season. And I love when they do this because they got faith in the show. We're going to get a lot more story, and I just love it.
Listen, this is a thing that streamers do. It's a thing that broadcast networks hardly ever do, except maybe the exclusion would be Young Sheldon, which was renewed for 3 seasons all at once. But broadcast doesn't do this. This is not old school. This is a new school kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, excited that they have that much faith in it. So.
Right. I love it.
The numbers must be good for them.
Exactly.
Again, like Netflix, they don't release the numbers, so we don't know how many people are actually watching these shows.
But you know what? It's not. I mean, every once in a while, we'll have a news story. Like HBO gives out big numbers, especially for their big, their movie release, their same day, I can't think of the words that they give for it.
Yeah, for when it's in the theater and on HBO Max at the same day. Yeah.
We sometimes get numbers about those, and those are just whopping numbers. So
pretty cool.
Love that.
Pretty cool. Those will be going away as theaters start to reopen and people start going back to movie theaters.
But it's my understanding that for 2021, HBO is committed to what's already been said that's going to premiere. Oh, day and date.
Yes.
Right. So they're committed. From what they're not committed. They have said that they will continue through 2021. We'll see if that remains the same.
It would be shitty if they went back on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we switch over to Paramount Plus?
Yes. We don't get enough news from Paramount Plus. You know, this is the one I'm always hard on.
Well, and this is also taking so much longer than we thought. But again,
big time.
Pandemic. We could say that till we're blue in the face. In celebration of Captain Picard Day, which was this past Wednesday, Paramount Plus released the all-new teaser trailer for season 2 of its hit original series, Star Trek Picard, which happens to be my favorite show on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
It's rumored that the second season will be all about time being broken.
Yeah,
time is really broken.
Yeah, there's not a lot of detail that comes out of this. There's no. Go ahead.
Yeah,
before I speak out of turn.
No, people are seeing things. They're seeing things that are not being described.
Yes.
Like the fact that the alternate Starfleet insignia is very different.
Yes.
In these preview trailers, so we know something has changed.
Right, and the one thing that is what people are reading into is the I guess I can call it a movie poster, which shows a modern day LA with the overpasses in the insignia of Star Trek. And there's all kinds of...
Right. So time is really fucked up in this. But you guys will be excited to know that some of your old favorites are coming back. Q, Picard's old adversary from way, way, way back, is coming back. Same actor. Jerry Ryan will be coming back as 7 of 9, who showed up briefly in season 1. But she wakes up in the morning, she looks in the mirror, and she doesn't have that partial face covering mask thing on.
Right.
So time has really, she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so apparently these characters are going to be split amongst time.
Yeah.
I've seen movies like that where they kind of go back and forth and back and forth. I hate that,
like
but we'll see.
The butterfly effect, that kind of thing.
I don't like it, but we'll see how this goes.
Also, Brent Spiner will be back. He was in season 1 for a little bit. He'll be back as Data, so we're excited about that. It looks fun. And you had a fun fact about what Star Trek Day is all about as you swallow your drink.
Yes, I did. Because I will say I'm not the biggest Star Trek fan. I will say I'm probably the least most Star Trek fan that you've ever met, if you are one. But I did enjoy this series. But Captain Picard Day is celebrated by Star Trek fans globally on June 16th in honor of a fictional annual event that was held aboard the USS Enterprise D for the ship's school children. So that's where it comes from.
All right. Well, that's exciting.
Right. Yeah. It's exciting because I'm excited about it.
I don't know if you told me anything there, but I am very excited about this coming back. It's coming back in 2022, they say. They haven't given us a date.
No.
Why not?
Well, it's probably, I suspect it's still
in production.
Yeah.
We've waited way too long. Too long for this. You want to go shopping?
Yes. I actually kind of like this idea, and I wish more would do it. Last Thursday, Netflix announced a new way for fans to connect with their favorite stories, of course, by buying apparel and lifestyle products. I mean, how else would you want to do it?
All right.
Netflix.shop was launched, and you can currently buy action figures based on the anime series Yasuke and Eden, as well as apparel inspired by Lupin. And coming soon are products from The Witcher and Stranger Things.
Well, Stranger Things already have a huge... I think you bought me Stranger Things socks. I've got them upstairs.
Yeah, I did.
There's tons and tons of things that Netflix can sell. So this is a very good idea. Just last night, Dale.
Yeah.
Just last night, I went on to shopbybravo.com and bought myself a Real House Husbands t-shirt.
Oh, you didn't. You
So
didn't.
Bravo has been in this game for a while. They understand that people like to buy products related to their favorite shows.
I am totally down for this. I mean, there are shows that I am absolutely in love with and I would love to buy a t-shirt, a hat, a pair of socks, a beanie. I think more streamers should do this. They have
umpteen things that they could sell.
Could totally do it.
Umpteen, if that's a real word. One last piece of information, news here from Disney Plus. Beauty and the Beast is coming back.
Hey.
I mean, they've done the animated series. They did a live action movie. And now they're doing a limited musical series of Beauty and the Beast for Disney Plus.
And that is the working title currently, because it's, well, you'll get to it.
Well, currently Luke Evans and Josh Gad will be Gaston and LeFou. Is that right?
I think so.
And someone named Brianna Middleton will be playing Tilly. The limited series will feature an all-new original soundtrack, so all new songs.
I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, if I was going to watch even if it was a limited series of Beauty and the Beast,
be our guest.
Isn't the music all about that and what you know? I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe people are itching for something new.
Yeah, it might be fun.
Production will begin next spring.
Yeah. So I suspect there'll be more and more information as this comes along.
Hey, we've got some new show announcements. I'm excited about this one. I would think that Dale would be very excited about this one because didn't you grow up with this guy?
Oh my God. I had every piece of toy that you can imagine.
This is Masters of the Universe Revelation. It's a new animated series coming to Netflix on July 23rd.
Hey, that's coming soon, man.
Yeah, after 40 years, the war with Eternia, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Begins again in what may be the final battle between He-Man and Skeletor.
Let's just say it's not going to be. I mean, this cartoon was probably on the air for 7 years.
Yeah.
And the battle was never final.
Of course the battle would never be final. If it was final, then it would be the end of the world.
Yeah. So we bring this up. We actually don't talk a lot about animated films or kids' films a lot. But I'm going to let you continue. This is all about the cast.
It's all about the cast, but it's also about the animation. I think the animation looks great. It looks better than the original, for sure.
It does, but it resembles old school, which is fun.
They were true to the original characters.
It's what cartoons looked like in the 80s.
But they've upped the game.
Of course.
80s cartoons, let's face it, they kind of sucked. They were really good in the 50s and 60s and 70s, and then they kind of fell to a kind of an icky place in the 80s and 90s, animation-wise.
Right.
Maybe not story-wise, but then they've come back big time. Yeah. So this is coming from executive producer Kevin Smith, who, of course, is one of my gods. He's right up there with Bill Maher, as much as I love him. This is from Clerks and Chasing Amy and all those great movies.
I actually didn't know he was behind this.
The voice talents of Chris Wood playing He-Man, Mark Hamill, who of course is Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, he's playing Skeletor. He's very good at bad guys.
Yes.
He did that for Batman too. I think he played the Joker in Batman for like decades.
Yeah.
Lena Headey, who was Cersei in Game of Thrones, she's playing Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Yeah. And then several other people, including Sarah Michelle Gellar.
I know. Right.
Who's one of my favorite chicks of all time because she was Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
This voice cast is amazing.
And Justin Long, he's great. He's in there playing Roboto. Alicia Silverstone, holy, help me, please.
Right.
All of my favorite people from all of my favorite movies are in this cartoon series that you and I will now be watching.
Exactly.
So Alicia Silverstone, of course, played Cher in Clueless. So we're going to be watching this friggin' show. I don't know who Dietrich Bader is, but he's playing Trapjaw. And there's other people, obviously. But man, talk about a lineup of people that I love. I don't know about y'all.
I mean, Kevin Smith was even quoted who was saying that it's just incredibly unbelievable that he was able to get this cast on board. Like he is shocked as well. I mean, this is a great lineup of voice actors.
How hard is it to be a voice actor? I mean, you show up, you stand in front of a microphone, and you read the words off the page. It wasn't
about being hard. It's that these people were interested. This is great.
I know they wanted to be in Masters of the Universe.
Right.
I think that's pretty cool. It's
well,
coming.
you know, I mean, this was an American cartoon. I don't know how abroad it got. Maybe these people are also fans.
Maybe they are.
Yeah.
Maybe they are. It's coming to Netflix on July 23rd.
Yeah. Coming to Hulu July 9th is the second season of This Way Up. I don't know if you know this. This is a comedy drama about moving on, moving forward, and trying to find happiness. This is a British comedy, and it's a lot of fun.
We watched the trailer. It looks a little depressing, but funny at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, she's checking into rehab.
Right.
And that's always a hoot.
Yeah, but they make the best of it, and the comedy is really good in this.
I mean, how they did 6 seasons of Mom, which was all about recovering alcoholics,
exactly.
right? So, yeah, I guess we can do This Way Up season 2 also. Also coming to Disney Plus on July 28th, a new animated series, Chip and Dale Park Life, follows the stories of troublemakers, Chip and Dale, as they try to live the good life in the big city park.
Yeah. The difference is with these is they are much younger.
Yes.
They're like little tweens, I would say.
Not sure I love the animation with this. It's a little...
You are again, well, like an animation expert.
Yeah, but I'm not an animation expert, but I know what I like. I know what I love. And I didn't, just from the teaser trailer, I didn't love this animation. Also, you had the idea that maybe these characters don't talk like they have in the past.
I got that impression. I haven't been able to confirm it, but I got that impression.
Yeah, so it might be just all kind of watch them and listen to music.
Right, and my understanding is that each 30-minute episode is going to tell 3 different stories of like 9 minutes or something like that.
Cool.
So July 28th, Disney Plus. Hey, we got something for the kids.
Nice.
We're gonna tell you what to watch this week. It's time for Up Next.
I find this a little fascinating, and this is why I put this on this week's show.
Not only fascinating, but I had no friggin' idea.
You had no idea, right?
No.
What we're talking about is a new limited series from Discovery Plus. It's available now, called The Queen of Meth.
Love meth. Love it.
Right.
Got it right here on the counter.
It's one of America's most notorious drug dealers, Lori Arnold, a person so notorious that you'd never even heard of her.
Never heard of her, but
right.
we know her brother.
Sister of actor Tom Arnold. She takes a break from her mundane Ohio factory job to confront her criminal past in her Iowa hometown in this rollicking and emotional 3-part series. Basically, she was a meth god for like 6 or 7 years, and she was this like one of the biggest dealers of meth for a time
in friggin' Iowa.
Right. Well, I mean, kind of how perfect is that? I mean, you look at Iowa, like Wyoming, that would be the best place to do business, right? It's all remote.
So apparently she had a 170-acre ranch in Iowa and grossed more than $200,000 per week at her peak.
Wow.
In 1991, she was arrested by the DEA, who seized more than $10 million worth of assets from her ranch. And she was convicted of drug trafficking and money laundering, and she spent 15 years in prison.
Go.
Yeah, in prison. Even Tom Arnold, who is in one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
What was that?
Roseanne.
He was in Roseanne for a while and married for a while to the creator of Roseanne, but he was also in the Arnold Schwarzenegger True Lies.
Oh, that's right.
True Lies, one of my favorites, which
That's
I
right.
still think should. I think Jamie Lee Curtis and Schwarzenegger should get back together and do like a part 2 in their old age.
You know what? That really was a great movie. There are lots of memorable scenes in that movie. So it's kind of like is that a cult classic?
It's a cult. Well, it's a classic.
It's a classic. I don't know about cult classic.
Tom Arnold does show up in this docuseries.
He does.
So he'll be in there talking about his sister and what happened back then.
This is primarily the reason why I find this fascinating, is because, I mean, this was in, 1991 you said this happened?
Yes.
He was currently, or maybe he...
It was right in when he was big.
Right in the Roseanne time period.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of this?
No, this has never come.
This is why I find this so great.
It was just completely stayed off the radar.
Right.
This is a 3-part series. Each episode is about 45 minutes long. There's only 3 episodes. It's on Discovery Plus if you guys have it. We do. We do.
We have them all.
Yeah.
So there's this new film from Paramount Plus. It's available now. It stars, of course, one of our favorites, Mark Wahlberg.
Love him.
Right?
I love him.
Yeah.
Love him.
He plays Evan McCauley. And for Evan McCauley, skills he has never learned and memories of places he has never visited haunt his daily life.
All of a sudden have popped into his head.
He
can do like karate chops and he has no idea how.
Yeah. So self-medicated and on the brink of a mental breakdown, Evan is sought by a secret group that call themselves Infinites, revealing to him that his memories may be real, but they're from multiple past lives.
So these guys remember all the stuff they learned in other lives.
Exactly. And which is, I freaking love this. The trailer is great.
Yeah.
And it's action and
it's kind of a cross.
Science fiction.
Yeah, it's kind of a cross between The Matrix and
that's a good
Tom Cruise's Mission Impossible, right?
Matrix.
He does this one thing in the trailer where he jumps off a cliff and lands on an airplane and sticks a knife in it so that it doesn't fall out off the airplane. I mean, totally ridiculous.
I think he does his own stunts.
He would be instantly dead if that really happened. Instantly dead.
Well, everyone on the plane would be dead because he's cutting the fuselage.
Well, I don't know. Also, one of our favorites, Dylan O'Brien, plays a part in this movie. He, of course, he was a wolf, right? A werewolf
on TV.
On CW. Yeah,
Teen Wolf.
Yeah. Excited about this movie. It comes to Paramount Plus. It's available now, so you guys can watch it literally right now. You could turn off this podcast and start listening to it. I mean, why are you even listening to this podcast anymore? You should be starting your binge for the weekend, right?
Great. But before you turn us off, we just want to say a quick thank you for listening to this episode of the Binge Bump Podcast. If you like our show, be sure to rate us wherever you like to listen to your podcast. We'll see you next week. And happy binging.
Will we see them or will they just be listening to us?
Yeah.
Okay.